Hello friends, welcome back to Network for You YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about SSH. In our CCNA 200-301 series we already configure and we done, but in our GNS series we are going to do SSH in GNS series and we are going to check the packets. We are going to use Wireshark to check the packets, and we are going to verify that SSH is secure compared to telnet. As in our last video in GNS3 series, we already learned that telnet is not secure and we can see the password and whatever communication is going on via telnet. So now in this series we are going to configure the SSH in GNS3, and I'm going to use the Wireshark software to analyze the packet and to show you that SSH is more secure compared to telnet, and in SSH we cannot see the communication what is going between SSH. Okay, so this is our definition already we learn in our CCNA 200-301 series. I hope you watched that video. If you did not watch, you can watch that one. So this all theory and configuration we already discussed. Just to have idea, I will say let me revise here so you will have the idea before doing the configuration. So the difference between the telnet and SSH. Generally both SSH and telnet protocol are having the same purpose. Both are used to make communication remotely. Okay, and telnet is not secure because all data will be sent in clear text including password without authentication and encryption, whereas SSH is more secure because it sends data by using encryption and authentication. So we use RSA, public private key pair authentication. This is algorithm, we use this one, and the port which SSH work is port number 22, and it is very secure. How we are going to configure means we need to go to global configuration mode. We will change the host name. Then the real one is starting from here. We need to create any domain name, so we will create by writing IP domain name. I wrote network for you, our channel name, you can write anything. After that we need to generate the RSA key pair. So how we will generate? We need to write crypto key generate RSA. Then it will ask the bit, so we can give the bit. It will give the range, so we need to use within from this range. After giving that one, it will generate, and automatically SSH version 1 will be enabled. If we want to enable SSH version 2, then we need to write IP SSH version 2. Okay, after that one we will configure SSH like LAN VT Y0 to 4. Y0 to 4 because I want to give the access to 5 users, so I will write 0 to 4, so they can access 5 users at a time. From 0 to 4 means 5, total 5. If I want to give only 3 user means I will write 0 to 2. Okay, then we need to write transport input. If we want to configure SSH, we will write SSH. If we want to configure both, we will have option both. I will show you in the GNS3. After that we will write login local. Then we need to write username, any name, admin or anything. I wrote admin, and password you need to define whatever password you want to do. Okay, and how we are going to check SSH? We need to do SSH from any other device. How we will write? We need to write SSH space -L, then username we need to write, then IP address of that device which one we want to take remotely. After that it will ask the password. Okay, so we are going to do this configuration. So let me open the GNS3. I open the GNS3. See here, maybe you are confused. I have two green light here because what I done, I have the GNS3 that is client mode. I am using that one, but some Cisco images will not work in that one. So for that purpose we need to have the GNS3 VM, that is server, GNS3 server. So now no need for you. Later I will create a detailed video for the how to download and what we need to do procedure to do the GNS3 VM. So we will have that one. That time you can do that one. Okay, and so now whatever you have GNS3 version, you can do that one. Use that one to do the lab. So what I will do, I will create a new project. What project name? Let's write SSH. Okay, so I create the new project SSH. After that what I can do, I can go to the router. I can take any router. I will take this router quantity 2. Okay, so I taken 2 router. Let me arrange router R1, router R2. I can change the image also if you want to change the image of this router, because this is our basic series for the GNS3. So in this I am going to teach you basic thing also. Okay, so if I want to change the image of this one, how we will change? We will go here and see change symbol. So I will click this one. Then we have here, if we want to use any manually like from your PC, we can select use the symbol and browse and apply. You can browse whatever image, or by default GNS3 is having the images, we can use that one. We have classic, you can select from here, or if you want different colors like this one, blue color, gray color, your wish, you can take. So I will take this red one, and we have so many images. Which one you need, you can select. Okay, to make more attractive and to have more interest while configuring like this. So I will write router here. If you want to write, I will write router. So I have this one, so I will take this. Okay, I will apply and I will say okay. So this become like this. Okay, I selected 2 1, so I done same time. Now I will on this start, I will go to this router, I will on this one also. So when we on it, this light will become green color. Our router 1 is also on, router 2 also on, and you see the CPU utilization is 52.1. it will go down and up depending upon the usage of our RAM and CPU. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to the router R1 and then I will set to auto RDL PC. Okay, to minimize the utilization of the CPU. Don't forget to do this one, so automatically it will adjust, else it will take the more RAM and it will utilize more CPU. So it is going to adjust this one and mean, so this is adjusted and done. So now I will go to the router R2, I will do same thing for the router R2, auto ideal PC. So it will adjust itself. Okay, and other thing what we will do, this is a cable, as we already know. We can use this to connect the between two router or switches. We have switch here and we have PC here, all we discussed before, but anyhow this is a basic series, so I am going to discuss everything. I click this here, then I will go here, I will click, and this is a fast Ethernet 0x0, and here also I will select to any one, I can select, no problem. This red means available ports, if we have green means we use that one. So this is available, so I will click here. So now these both are connected. Then I will click this here again, and after that what I can do, I cannot see the label here F0x0 or E0x0. So I need to go here and press this one. So our label, this port label, interface label will come. So I will keep here. So this is an interface label, whatever we have. Okay, and after that if you want to zoom in, you can zoom in like this, so it become more bigger. And if you want to move this here, you can move like this, so we will have the more dashboard. Okay, if you want to move this up, like select like this and keep this one here. So now this is okay. If I want to access the console of this router, I will click, I will select and then right click, and here we will click the console. So this console will open, and same thing I want to access the console for R2 also. Then I will go here, I will select the R2, I will click right click, I will click the console. Okay, then we need to wait a few minutes. We will have the Solar Putty software, which is by default installed with the GNS3. So we will have that one, and it will load and it will come. So router R2 came, R1 did not came. So let me check here. I will go to R2 and I will press R1, because R1 did not came. It will come after some time also. Now we have both. See, it came 2 times. So I will cancel this R2, this one. Now we have 2. Okay, so R1 console also we have CLI, R1 CLI, R2 CLI. So now what I will do, I will select the label, this one, and I will assign whatever IP we are going to use. So I will write 192.168.1.1, the basic which we are using to configure, to understand easily. In our what we call CCNA 200-301 series, we are doing the subnetting. So after completing that subnetting, we can use subnetting IP here also. Okay, meanwhile we will use the default and easy one, so everyone can understand without knowing the knowledge of subnetting. Okay, so this one I will keep here and keep here. Now we have the 2 IP. This is the IP address here, IP address here. We need to assign to this interface. So I will open this Putty software, and then I will go to the router 1. This is the router 1. I will click here, then I will press enter. Now router 1 is loaded. So what I will do, I will need to go to global configuration mode. I am in the global configuration mode. I will assign the basic password, that is enable. What we will write, enable password CISCO. This is a by default, this is a basic password which we configure to router. So if anyone is want to go to any other mode from the basic mode to the global or configuration mode, it will ask the password. As we know already, we discuss and everyone know that one. So just I assign the password. Now we need to assign the interface IP address. So what we will do, we need to go to interface. How we will go, we will write interface f0 by 0, then we need to assign the IP. So I will write IP address, then we need to write 192.168.1.1. after that we need to write subnet mask. So this is a class C, and we already know class C subnet mask is 255.255.255.255.0. okay, this is a class C. So I will press the enter. Then after that we need to write no shut, because all Cisco router and switches interface is by default on, so we need to keep up. Okay, so I assign the IP address, this is up. Now I can press Ctrl Z and I want to see whatever I assign, it is correct or not, or it is working. So I press what I press, show IP interface brief. So we will have all the interface detail. If you check, we have fast Ethernet E0 by 0 and the IP address 192.168.1.1, and this is up. Okay, so now I will go to the router 2. I am in the router 2 now. So let me click here in the router 2. So router 2, I will go in the configuration. I will set up the password, basic password, enable password. We will type, I will write same password, Cisco. Now I need to do the assign the IP address to the interface. So I will write interface int f0 by 0. Then we need to write IP address 192.168.1.2. okay, then we need to write subnet mask 255.255.0, and after that no shut, because all the Cisco device interface is down, so we need to write no shut. After this one I can press Ctrl Z and I can write show IP interface brief to check our interface is up or not. So now if you see, our interface is up. Okay, now meanwhile we need to configure via SSH here. So before configuring SSH, what I will do, I will go here and I will select this. I will start capturing, because Wireshark will take some time to open. So meanwhile we configure, it will open. So I will click this one, start capturing. So they will ask me link, Ethernet link it is going to capture, and the router R1, that is fast Ethernet 002, R2 fast Ethernet 00, means from this router to this router, in between the link whatever communication is going on, he is going to capture that one. So I will press OK, then it will take time, and one software will open like this and it will take time. Okay, so meanwhile this is taking time to open, we can configure our SSH. So now I am going to show you how we can configure the SSH. So before doing this one, we will configure SSH in the R2. So from R1 we can take remotely. Okay, so in R2, now I am in the R2. So in R2 what I will do, I will write whatever I need to configure, I need to go to global configuration mode. So now I am inside the global configuration mode. So after that we need to create a domain. To configure the SSH, we need to create a domain. So I will write IP, then I will press space question mark. So he will give what I can do in the IP. Okay, so many things he will give me, but I know if you forget the command, you can put the question mark and check. Here if you check, he is giving IP domain name. This is for what? To define the default domain name. To define the domain name, we can use this one. So I will press enter, all enter. So all this is the help. Whenever you forget any command, or if you are confused, or if you want to see any commands, you can press like this. Okay, so what I will write, IP domain and space, then I will press dash, then I will write name, then tab. So we will have the name, then what name I need to give, I can give anything. So I will write anything I can give. I will write our YouTube channel name, network for you. Okay, I wrote network for you, I press enter, so it is taken, and meanwhile our Wireshark is open, and whatever is communication is going on in between these two router, it will capture. The router will send the CDP packets. As we know, they will send the CDP, whatever is communication, they are sharing the information. You know, CDP, in CDP packet they are sharing the information. This is my model number, this is my version, this is my software, this is my interface. In interface I have this IP, router R1 tell to R2, R2 tell to R1. There is a timer in between. In that timer they are going to update to each other. We already learned this in our CCNA 200-301 series. If you have doubt, any confusion, you can watch our YouTube channel. You will find the video for CDP and LLDP. Why we use CDP? CDP work on the CISCO router, whereas LLDP work in the any other vendor, non-CISCO device, that is open standard. So any other router we can do that one also. Okay, so now let's come to our main topic. Here we created the domain. After creating domain, we need to create the key. So what I can do, I will write crypto key. We need to write crypto key. After that we need to write generate crypto key, generate RSA. Why I am using RSA? This is the algorithm we use for SSH authentication. So we need to write RSA. After writing enter, they will ask us to give the range for the keys. See here, choose the size of the key module in the range from 360 to 2048 for your general purpose keys. Choosing a key module greater than 512 maybe take a few minutes. Okay, so I will take like 800. Okay, because if I take less than 760 bits, it will not support the SSH version 2. We already discussed that one in our CCNA series. You can see there. So now to avoid that, we will use 800. So I press this one, so it is going to generate the keys, and after that it is generated, and see here, generated 800 byte K RSA keys will not exportable, and okay, and then we are having here enable SSH is enabled. So now I want to enable the SSH version 2. Okay, so if I want to enable the SSH version 2, then I need to write what I need to write. I will write IP SSH version 2. So SSH version 2 will be enabled. Okay, so if you wait few seconds, it will enable the SSH version. Okay, meanwhile we can start our doing configuration. In real it will take few seconds to do that one, so it will take some time. Meanwhile we will do the configuration. So if we want to do any configuration, we need to write LAN VTY 0 to 4 or 0 to 5, anything we can give. So I want to give to the user 0 to 3, and it means I need to give from 4 user can access at a time. So I will give 0 to 3, means 0 to 3 means 4 users. So LAN VTY 0 to 3. After that we need to write transport. I will write transport input. After that, if I press question mark, see here, whatever we want to give the, if you see here, if I want to give SSH, I can write SSH. If I want to configure telnet, I can write telnet. So we have this option. If I want to configure for all protocol, I can write all. Okay, so now we are interested in SSH, so we will configure the SSH. So I will write SSH. Okay, so I wrote SSH. After that we need to press enter. After this we need to write login and local, and after that we will write username. I will write admin. You can write anything, and I will write password admin. Anything you can write. Okay, so this is done. I will press Ctrl Z. I will write the WR to save the configuration, so it is saving in the router 2. If you want to check anything, we will write show run and enter. It will show all the running configuration. And if you want to see here, you can see we set up the domain name, that is IP domain name. This one, if you see, we set up the IP domain name, that is network for you. And if we go more, it will show we set up the username admin, password admin for the IP SSH version 2 is running. Okay, so we are seeing our configuration, whatever our configuration we done. So what IP we assign, everything we can see with this one. Okay, so this all configuration is our, and I wrote WR to save the configuration. So configuration will save here. Now I want to access from the router 2. This is a router 1. I configure SSH in the router 1. Now router 2, I configure SSH in router 2. Now I will go to router R1, and I am going to take remotely to the router 2 in the router 1. So if we want to do, how we will do, we need to write SSH. Okay, so we will write SSH, then dash L, and after that we need to write username. What is username? Actually I wrote admin, right? So admin, and after that we need to write IP address. So what is the IP address for the router R2? That is 192.168.1.2. okay, after that I will press enter. So it will take time, depending upon your processor speed, it will take time. So see, it is asking the password. So what password we wrote? Admin. I will write admin and I will press enter. So now I am inside the router R2. okay, now I am inside the router R2. So if I want to do anything, I will go in the enable mode. So when I press enable mode, it will asking me the password. So default password for the router we wrote Cisco. So when I put Cisco, I am inside router R2. If I want to check any configuration, anything in the router R2, I will write show run or anything. Let me write show run, and then I will write run. So whatever configuration we done, it will show that configuration. I am seeing the configuration. okay, I wrote show run, I am seeing that configuration. And after that, if I want to see, and if you see here in this capturing tool, that is Wireshark, whatever we are doing, the packets are going, we are doing this SSH version 2, and all this detail is going. So we are going to open any packet and we are going to check. Let me select this and open like this. You will go here, follow and TCP section. If you see here, this is SSH section. What we done, everything is encrypted, you cannot read. okay, whatever we done, like if I show you here, we use the SSH, we wrote the password and we write show run. Nothing, we cannot see anything. Everything is going as a encrypted one. All are like what we say, all are something like authentication. They are asking the encryption, they are using encryption RSA algorithm. So we cannot use. That's why we are saying that SSH is more secure compared to telnet. Telnet send the data in clear mode, whereas SSH send the data in the encrypted mode. So we cannot see. okay, let me show you how you will check. You will see this one, SSH version 2, and then you will right click and you will go to follow and TCP. This one you will select and you will see all the data, whatever is making communication between these two router by using SSH. okay, so all are secure. So nothing, if anyone can capture our packet in between the communication, in between the network, they cannot understand what communication we are doing. okay, so if I hope you understand this one. Now let me show you this one, what we can the console CLI this one. So in R2, what I can do, I can go in the R1. Let me go to the R1. If you like, I can configure the telnet in the R1 and I will show you in the R1 we can read the data. okay, so if you like, let me configure. Maybe video become big, that's why I want to do separate video. Already in our last video, that is telnet video, we already done that one, but anyhow I will configure here. So now see, we are accessing the router R2. so I will put here exit and I will exit this router. okay, so now I am in the router R1. so what I will do, I am going to configure the telnet here and we are going to capture and we are going to check. okay, so if we want to configure, we will go to the global configuration mode. Then we need to go in the LAN VTY 024. if I want to give to 5 user, I am configuring this telnet. You already saw the last video. In that video I already shown how we can configure the telnet, but anyhow I will configure here. We will capture the packet and we are going to check. okay, so password I need to write. I will write password. I will give 1 2 3 4 5. okay, password, remember telnet password is 1 2 3 4 5. After that we will write login. So this is telnet is configure. I will press Ctrl Z. I will save this one configuration. Now I will go to the router R2. I am going to telnet from the router R2 to R1. okay, now remember in R1 I configured the telnet. So now I will go to R2, router R2, and I am going to telnet the router R1. So how we will telnet, we need to write telnet and 192.168.1.1. 1.1 is the ID, right, for the R1. So see, telnet is configured. They are asking me password. So we wrote password 1 2 3 4 5. I press the password. So I am accessing the router R1. If I want to go to enable mode, he will ask the default password. What I wrote, Cisco. So I wrote the default password. Now I am inside the router. I will write show run. Okay, so we will see the configuration, what configuration we done. And if we want to see any interface, whatever the interface is down or up, I will write show IP interface brief. So this is showing the interface. So our Wireshark software is running here. So we will see wherever is the telnet packet, and we are going to capture, and we are going to check that one. Okay, so see here, or we can type here. I can type here telnet and press enter. So this is our telnet packets, what we done. Okay, so I will take the last packet here. I will select this. I will go in the follow and TCP stream. Okay, so see here, this is a telnet. I captured the packet, and see here, it is asking me password. I wrote the password. What is the password? 1 2 3 4. After that, I put enable. Then I go in the enable by writing the Cisco password. I go in the router. Then I wrote show run. So I see the whatever configuration is present here. So everything visible. Did you get? If we configure the telnet, if I capture the packet, I can see everything, whatever we wrote, and then I press enter. Then I wrote show IP interface brief. So that is also available. Okay, if you want me to do something, let me do here something. So like I write show version. So this is showing the version. So if you check here, I will leave this packet. We will take the latest packet. So I will go here in the Wireshark. I will check the latest packet. Let me open this one, follow and stream. Then we will go show version. It will come show version also. Okay, where is the show version? This is a show version I wrote. So I have the version all details. So this is a clear text. We can we observe with this our practical. We sure we make confirm that we confirm ourselves whatever is written in the books by doing the lab, by implementing the lab. SSH we cannot read. It is encrypted like A0 something like that, just now as I shown you. But if we capture the telnet packet, it is having all written readable form. We can read whatever is going on in between these two router. Okay, so with this one we can say SSH is secure compared to telnet. Telnet send the data in the clear text including the password. So whenever we want to do, we are preferring to use SSH in our company and organization. Okay, thank you very much for seeing our video. Subscribe to our channel Network for You, and like our video and share with your friend who is interested in CCNA or CCNP and in the networking courses. Ask them to watch our videos and share the video in your Facebook wall. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you very much. Bye.